Hi there guys, it's Adam Martin here, and welcome back to another installment of the Now Review, and this time it's a brand new yearbook we've got to take a look at today that focuses on a particular year that some would argue was quite a sweet spot in terms of popular music here in the UK. So I'm going to be showing you today the Special Edition 4 CD and the 3 LP vinyl edition of Now Yearbook 1993. Again, 1993 in terms of popular music, some consider to be quite a sweet spot. There was a lot of good stuff going on at that time, and of course we'll be looking at the track list a little bit later and the content. But let's take a look first and foremost at the cover here. So the colour they've chosen, because all the yearbooks have a central colour, if you will, the one they've gone for is pink, which is quite nice and refreshing. Of all the yearbooks, apart from Now Yearbook 78, I think we haven't really gone with pink, and these sort of very vibrant colours were very part of the 90s as well, so I think this is a great fit for 1993. You can see the logo is the same logo they're using for the 90s with this very 90s font. Again, I don't know what that font is, but trust me, you look at that font, especially on the 93 numerals there, and you know, you've seen that font before, you know you have, so it's great to see it represented here on the cover. The silver thing, I mean, I get it. It looks nice and sleek. The yellow on the yearbook, I'm not really a massive fan of with the pink background. I don't know what other... I just think some better colour combinations could have worked here, because with that pink being so vibrant, I just don't think the rest of it really carries it off. But that's by the by. That's your cover anyway. As this is the special edition CD, you can see on the spine here, as with all the yearbooks, this is more like a book in terms of its packaging. You can see that font replicated on the side there. Now Yearbook 1993. And I personally prefer these. The standard edition CDs, of course, do have the same contents as well in terms of the track list, but I prefer a sturdier case. But let's flip this on over now and take a look at that all-important track list. CD 1 begins with Living on My Own by Freddie Mercury, a great song. One that only really got the attention after he died, sadly. I mean, he did release this, I think, in a version way back in the 80s. Pet Shop Boys with Can You Forgive Her, the lead single off their very album, a great single. Maybe not the best song off that album, but that is one of my favourite PSP albums of all time, so it's tough competition. New Order with Regret, R.E.M. and The Sidewinder Sleeps Tonight, Duran Duran with Come Undone, Annie Lennox with Love Song for a Vampire from Bram Stoker's Dracula, Aha with Dark Is the Night for All, Take That with Pray, one of their earliest and biggest hits, E17 with Deep, Ace of Base with All That She Wants, a monster hit for them when that came out. West End feats Sybil, The Love I Lost, one of the few 90s hits for the Stock Aitken Waterman team. Whitney Houston with I'm Every Woman, of course taken from the monster hit film The Bodyguard. Lisa Stansfield with Someday I'm Coming Back, which was also from The Bodyguard, I believe. Billy Joel and The River of Dreams. Belinda Carlisle with Big Scary Animal. Roxette with Almost Unreal. Tina Turner with I Don't Want to Fight. Sade with Cherish the Day, and we round off with Sting and Fields of Gold, a beautiful song and a great way to round off CD 1. 19 tracks there, let's move on to CD 2. We have Radiohead with Creep, one of their most iconic tunes, Suede with So Young, Paul Weller with Wild Wood, Paul McCartney with Hope of Deliverance, The Bluebells with Young at Heart, Sonia and Better the Devil You Know, which was the UK's entry for Eurovision in 1993, came second, Dina Carroll with Express, M People and Moving On Up, an iconic tune that's lasted throughout the decades. Capella with You Got to Let the Music. Urban Cookie Collective with The Key, The Secrets, that still gets airplay in clubs, would you believe? USURA with Open Your Mind. Utah Saints with Believe in Me. Dream with Unforgiven. Left Field with Open Up. Stereo MCs and Step It Up. The Beloved with Sweet Harmony. Sunscream and Broken English. Jamiroquai with Too Young to Die. Chakademus and Pliers and Tease Me. Shaggy with Oh Carolina, one of his earliest and most well-known songs. And we finish with UB40 with their version of I Can't Help Falling in Love with You, which is a bit Marmite, I think. It's not one of my favourites, but, you know, people love it. That's 21 tracks there. 40 so far. Let's move on to CD 3. We've got Meatloaf and I'd Do Anything for Love, but I won't do that. Again, one of their most iconic songs. Bon Jovi with In These Arms. Lenny Kravitz with Are You Gonna Go My Way? Manic Street Preachers with From Despair to Where. Spin Doctors with Two Princes. Were they a one-hit wonder? Did they really have any other big hits? Soul Asylum with Runaway Train. Ugly Kid Joe with Cats in the Cradle. Crowded House with Distant Sun. The Cranberries with Linger, really great tune from them. Four Non-Blondes with What's Up, which of course is more known for a meme these days. Eternal with Stay. SWV with Right Here. Salt and Pepper with Shoop, which of course got some more fame as being featured in the Deadpool film. Arrested Development with Mr. Wendell. Shara Nelson with Down That Road. Gabrielle and Dreams, one of her most iconic tunes. Sananda Maitreya feat Desiree and Delicate. Paul Young with Now I Know What Made Otis Blue. And Tasmin Archer with In Your Care, another 19 tracks there. That takes us to 59. And last but not least, CD4, we've got Duran Duran again with their song Ordinary World. Pet Shop Boys and Go West. I mean, yes, it's a cover, but what can you say? It's become one of their most iconic songs. Again, off the very album. Big hit, that got to number 2. Take That feat Lulu and Relight My Fire. M People with One Night in Heaven. Robin S. with Show Me Love, one of the most iconic dance tunes of all time. RuPaul with Supermodel, You Better Work. Snap feat Nikki Harris and Exterminate, a really good tune, underrated from that Madman's Return album. Hadaway with What Is Love, again a monster Eurodance hit of the 90s and is just iconic in so many ways. Bananarama with More More More. Sister Sledge with Lost in Music, the Sure Is Pure remix. Kim Wilde with If I Can't Have You, a pretty decent cover. Gloria Estefan with Go Away. Deborah Harry with I Can See Clearly. Orchestral Maneuvers in the Dark with Stand Above Me. Tears for Fears with Break It Down Again. Go West with What You Won't Do for Love. Lisa Stansfield with In All the Right Places. Dina Carroll and Don't Be a Stranger. And we finish off with Elton John and Kiki D, who return for another duet. This time it's True Love, another 19 tracks there. Which means across 4 CDs, folks, we've got 78 different tracks. Now, as ever, I'll talk more about the tracks a little bit later, but for now, I want to open this up and show you just what's inside. So as this is the special edition version, all the discs are housed here within these little slips, and all of the discs are in that pink. But like they've been doing recently, they've adopted a gradient. You know I love a gradient. Starting from the lightest shade of pink and working its way down before it becomes darker and darker and darker. I always really appreciate these on CDs. You know, the actual discs themselves are pretty bog standard what Now do these days. I remember when disc designs used to be more inventive. They're all a bit bog standard now, but I'll accept a gradient. It's fine. So with this being the special edition, you get the booklet, the stuff that used to be free, but now you pay a premium. It gives you a bit of history about 1993, about what was going on in the music scene at that time, a bit about what was going on in the world. Always good to know your history. You get a track-by-track breakdown telling you lots about the song, telling you about how high it charted, telling you all about the artists in question as well, telling you a bit about the albums that were around at that time, just all the information you'd expect. And again, that used to be free, but sadly now comes at an extra few pounds for the special edition. You've also got the quiz, because what yearbook would be complete if it didn't have the quiz? Really happy to have that there. If you want to test your knowledge on 1993 pop music, then the quiz has got you absolutely covered. And aside from that, it's just a bit of production information, but throughout the booklet you can see the single covers of all of the songs on here, which is also a really nice feature. And again, when getting these, I like to read these. You know, I have a sit down, I have a read. I know that's not everyone's deal, not everyone would want to do that, so, you know, take it or leave it for what you will, but I'm happy to pay an extra few pounds to get some really cracking information about these legendary songs in some cases. In terms of the track list, I do quite like this. Obviously, there's a lot of songs I do recognise on here, particularly those that lean in the more dance direction, you know, like your Snaps and your Hadaways and stuff like that. That is stuff that is in my veins, that is in my blood. I love that sort of stuff. But I think you get a good feature. You get, like, some of the mainstream pop that was going on with, like, some of the boy bandy stuff, like Take That and E17 are there. You get more of the alternative stuff as well, littered throughout the album, which I think is quite nice, because as much as people remember the 90s, some might remember it for Eurodance, some might remember it for, you know, grunge and all the other subgenres that were going on, but particularly in 93, I'd argue the charts, when you look back, were actually quite diverse in terms of what was going on. There was a lot of different musical styles, and I think when you look across here, in my opinion, that is well represented. Now, of course, it has to be up to you to decide whether that's the case and whether you're going to get this for yourself. In terms of the special edition, it will range from between £15 and £18, depending on where you buy it from. I always get mine from HMV because they always serve me well in terms of deliveries and stuff like that. The standard edition, again, is available. It's exactly the same track list. You just don't get the booklet. You don't get the quiz. You don't get the sturdier casing, and that retails usually for about a tenner. Moving on though, let's have a look at this, the 3 LP vinyl release. Now, I've always gotten the vinyl editions of the yearbooks as well, particularly with these ones in the 90s, because there are a lot of these 90s tracks that may have had vinyl releases back in the day, but they're very hard to find now because not as much vinyl was being printed. So I'm always happy to get these ones on vinyl, particularly as more of a, I guess, like a preservation thing, if nothing else. I'll show you what one of the discs looks like in a second, but let's take a look at the track list on the vinyl. So on LP1 side A, we've got Living on My Own, Can You Forgive Her, Regret, The Sidewinder Sleeps Tonight, Come Undone, Love Song for a Vampire, and In All the Right Places. So that's 7 tracks there. On LP1 side B, you've got Pray, All That She Wants, Oh Carolina, I Can't Help Falling in Love with You, I Can See Clearly, Stand Above Me, Break It Down Again, and Dark Is the Night for All. Another 8 tracks there. So 15 on LP1. LP2, you've got I'd Do Anything for Love, But I Won't Do That, Are You Gonna Go My Way, Two Princes, The River of Dreams, What's Up, I Don't Want to Fight, and Fields of Gold, another 7 there. And on LP2 side B, you've got Creep, So Young, From Despair to Where, Open Up, Too Young to Die, Linger, Wildwood, and Hope of Deliverance, another 8 there. So 15 on LP2 as well. On LP3, side A kicks off with I'm Every Woman, Exterminate, Mr. Wendell, Right Here, Stay, Dreams, and Don't Be a Stranger, another 7 there. And LP3 side B has Ordinary World, Go West, Show Me Love, Moving On Up, Relight My Fire, The Love I Lost, and True Love rounds the whole thing off, another 7 there. So in total then, that is 44 tracks across 3 LPs, which is just over half, a couple of songs over half compared to what you get on the CD. Now, they're always going to be less because if you had all 78 songs, this would be like a, I don't know, like a 5 or 6 LP release, and that would be very expensive. But, you know, just bear that in mind. There's a select amount of tracks you get in here that has to factor into your decision as to whether to get this. In terms of the disc itself, here is what the Now website proclaims it looks like. You know, a very vibrant pink, almost matches the cover somewhat. Here is the disc itself. Now, you know, cameras and all that, you might think that this isn't as vibrant. It's still a really nice color. It's almost like, you know, cotton candy pink or something like that. You know, I quite like it, but it's not an exact match to the front cover. You can sort of see it in the background there. And people complain about this on the website. They often make the colors look more vibrant, or the colors we actually get aren't exactly the shades that are advertised. Again, that's something I guess you'll have to just factor into your decision making if you're particularly bothered about the color of the vinyl. I'm not so much, but if that's really your thing, then that's something you'll have to bear in mind. In terms of retail for this, these have been slowly going up and up and up, which is a little worrying. But anywhere now from between, I think, 30 to like 33, 34 pounds. And, you know, across 3 LPs, sort of 10, 11 pounds an LP, that's still not necessarily a bad deal, particularly since a lot of these tracks, you know, you'll only find on either other compilations or really rare original issues of said album. But I don't know, if these get even more, if these get to like the 35, 36 mark, then I might start to scratch my head and question whether they're as sound an investment. But hey, that's what it is at the moment. But on the whole, with Now Yearbook 1993, I mean, I love the 90s stuff anyway. Again, particularly the dance stuff, that's more what I lean into. But I am glad on the whole that they have included some of the broad spectrum of what was popular at that time. They haven't just focused in one lane. So for me, that's going to be a must purchase. But again, for you, you've got to decide that for yourself. Have a look at the track list, analyze what's on there, maybe have a pre-listen online to some stuff if you're not too sure. Really make sure this is worth your time and your money if you're going to go for it. But that's all for this installment of the Now Review. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please remember to leave a like on this video. It really does help us out. And let me know in the comments if you're going to pick up Now Yearbook 93, and if so, which version are you going to get? Are you going to get the standard CD, the special edition CD, or the vinyl? Let me know all of that in the comments down below. Subscribe to us as well if you're brand new. We'd love to have you aboard. In the meantime, I've been Adam Martin from AMTV Now. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time for another spin on the turntable.